This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 30th day of April in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Guyana will see a significant drop in oil production in the months of July and August, when ExxonMobil will shut down the operations on two of its production vessels to facilitate a critical aspect of the pipeline component for the gas-to-energy project. At a media briefing today, the president of ExxonMobil Guyana, Rutledge, said with the three FPSOs in operation, the company is producing approximately 613,000 barrels of oil per day in the Stabroek block. However, that number is expected to fall by more than 160,000 barrels of oil per day when the operations of the Liza Destiny and the Liza Unity are halted for 2 weeks to facilitate the pipeline's connection.
It'll be roughly 14 days or 2 weeks for each one. As you are aware from other reports, the Liza Destiny is producing a capacity of around 162,000 barrels a day, and the Liza Unity has a production capacity of around 252,000 barrels per day.
In the case of the Liza Destiny, the company will not be able to produce more than 2 million barrels of oil during the 2-week period. And in the case of the Liza Unity, more than 3.5 million barrels of oil will not be produced. The ExxonMobil CEO said the shortfall in production for those 2 months was long anticipated. According to him, it is not lost production, but rather deferred production, adding that the oil would still be in the ground. He said the move to take the FPSOs offline is critical to ensure that the risers are safely connected to the FPSOs. The risers would carry the hydrocarbons from the subsea wellhead on the seabed to the FPSO unit on the surface.
In those 2 shutdowns for each of the vessels, and we do those in order to safely install the risers because it's a major operation. We want to make sure it's done safely, not at risk of any of the ongoing operation. This was already known when we first sanctioned the gas-to-energy project, that these kind of installations would be needed. There was no existing gas risers for export of gas onshore. So we knew about it at the time. We knew we would need to plan it in detail, which is what we've been doing. It'll be roughly 14 days or 2 weeks for each one.
Meanwhile, the construction of the gas pipeline is moving apace. According to Mr. Rutledge, it is approximately 70% complete and well on track for completion by the end of this year.
On the pipeline side, the offshore portion of the pipeline is 70% complete. We currently have 2 elements of installation ongoing in the shallow waters near to shore. Is one vessel that's leading that installation, and then there's another vessel out in the deep water that is laying pipe there. Onshore, we're also making good progress, about 68% complete onshore. So you can see roughly 70% complete across the entire pipeline.
The ExxonMobil company is constructing the pipeline at the cost of $1 billion. It is expected to transport gas from its offshore operations to a $759 million power and natural gas liquids plant at Wales. The plants are being financed by the Guyana government and are expected to be completed by the end of next year. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Micro, small, medium enterprises can expect significant support in 2024. The sum of $450 million was allocated to the Small Business Development Fund and $331 million for the Small Business Bureau. This will provide for the disbursement of 100 loans and 1,362 grants to businesses. Additionally, 2,800 businesses will receive training in apiculture, farming, livestock, poultry rearing, and micro-enterprise. This and more are initiatives of the 2024 national budget, which is being supported by revenues earned from oil production.
Brazil has been invited to become a full member of the Guiana Shield Strategic Dialogue. Guyana's Minister of Home Affairs, Robson Ben, disclosed at the closing press conference for the high-level talks, which took place between Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, and France. Mr. Ben said the founding members of the Guiana Shield Strategic Dialogue, France, Suriname, and Guyana, agreed that Brazil should be invited to become a full member of the dialogue, in keeping with calls for all countries within the region to work more closely to confront existing threats. The Guiana Shield encompasses French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, and parts of Colombia and Brazil. Minister Ben told reporters that the 2024 dialogue created a platform for the existing members, together with Brazil, to discuss a range of security challenges and advance discussions on the proposed Common Security Master Plan for the Guiana Shield.
We have again identified principally the common security challenges, interests, and concerns which affect us all at in the Guiana Shield. And our discussions focus principally on not only identifying the security matters, but how developments in the region, in our countries, in respect of social progress, economic progress, issues in relation to the upcoming developments in natural resources utilization, and in the creation of more infrastructure in our territories will impact on the security architecture, will impact on the issues relating to responses to challenges to that security architecture, and also the ongoing issues in relation to protection of the environment, illegal mining and logging.
Ben said the importance of protecting the region's maritime space also came up for discussions, with participating states identifying opportunities for collaboration. The Minister of Defense of Suriname, Krishna Mothuera, said with security challenges within the region quickly evolving, it is important for countries to unite to confront both existing and emerging threats.
Aim of this dialogue is that the security environment is changing, and security has no borders. It's beyond borders. All the challenges that we are facing, security in the maritime zone, illegal trafficking, organized drug-related crimes, cybersecurity, so many challenges, and they are beyond borders. And our future, our development, the stability and the prosperity of our communities depend on security and the actions that we as leaders are taking every day.
The Surinamese minister said no country can do it alone and be successful. The Guiana Shield Strategic Dialogue was initiated by France in 2021, with the first round of the dialogue held in French Guiana that same year. It was later held in Suriname in 2022, and with the third edition taking place here in Guyana. A Chinese-owned supermarket in Section A, Golden Grove, on the east coast of the Marara was completely gutted by fire early this morning, leaving millions of dollars in damages and losses. The Guyana Fire Service said it responded to an emergency call at 4:23 this morning regarding the fire and quickly responded with a fire tender along with an ambulance and a water carrier. The fire service explained that when it arrived at the scene, the two-story concrete and wooden building was already engulfed in flames. Investigations have so far revealed that the building was owned by a 43-year-old Chinese national. While the entire building was destroyed, the fire service said its firefighters were able to contain the blaze and prevent it from spreading to nearby buildings. One building, however, sustained some damage as a result of the radiated heat from the fire. A full investigation of this morning's fire has been launched. The fire service is emphasizing tonight the importance of equipping homes and businesses with fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, smoke alarms, and sprinkler systems. It said none of those things were at the Chinese supermarket.
Purple Arts Productions presents A Treat for My Mother's 7 on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12. Herbie Marshall and strings, Barbara Lee, Leon Walton, Young Nelson, and others. Golden jewelry for the best dressed mother in purple. 8 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Tickets $3,000 and $2,500. Compliments of NDNS Furniture Store, Noodle Cake Creations, Essential Care Pharmacy, Sunflower Jewelry, a Purple Arts Theater production.
Linden, it's time for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. This year, Big Man to a Skylark. Join Go Mosley Entertainment on Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand for 5 big bands: Stitchy, Super Ray, Murphy, the Castro Brothers, and for the first time in Linden, the one-woman band Queen Makiba.
But when I see what I was getting, boy, I start to shiver, cause I know I'm unable with that. Get me, young boy.
Plus DJ Granny Ivy will be live. Party like never before. It's a one-man band and one-woman band fete for Linden Town Week. Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand. Big Man to a Skylark. Compliments of GTT, Sheriff Security, 592 Tees, Banks Beer, Guinness, and XM Rums. Drink responsibly for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. Big Man to a Skylark.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Back to the oil and gas sector, the president of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alistair Rutledge, today said Exxon has not been summoned by the court to face any charges alongside the former broker Rams Logistics Inc. over an alleged false declaration made to the Guyana Revenue Authority amounting to $12.1 billion. The GRA has accused ExxonMobil and Rams Logistics of making a false declaration to the Revenue Authority back in November of 2016 for a quantity of oil well equipment and supplies listed in an invoice. The invoice was billed at $12.1 billion, though the equipment only valued approximately $4.46 million. But the Exxon president today told reporters that the company remains committed to working ethically.
We have not received any court summons or documents. We are always committed to working ethically, correctly, making sure all of our submissions, be they for tax purposes or cost recovery, are accurate.
According to Rutledge, the inflated sum was as a result of an error, and the GRA has since received the requisite documents reflecting the correct figure.
The GRA has the correct number, and Everything was caught early and no issues, nobody suffered any loss. Everything was taken care of.
And noting that the company undergoes a business practices review with all of its workers to ensure that they understand the importance of reporting accurately and doing business correctly, Mr. Rutledge said a lesson has surely been learned.
If there is something that is not as it should have been, then we will learn from that. And sure, in fact, we've already revisited the procedures around those submissions. As you may also be aware that the company that is supporting us for those customs duties has changed, and so we don't anticipate that kind of issue arising again, but we'll learn and make sure that we put in place everything we can to not have errors.
Both Exxon and Rams Logistics are expected to appear in court next week in relation to the matter. The company has reportedly severed ties with the custom brokers that furnished the inflated declaration. Let's tell you now that the Public Utilities Commission has flagged the Guyana Power and Light Company for not operating up to standard and not delivering on its mandate. The PUC, which recently reviewed GPL's standard operating procedures and its operations for last year, said the operations of the power company remain very concerning. The Commission said GPL has failed to meet most of its operating standards and performing targets for the last year. The Utilities Commission also said particularly disconcerting was the company's failure to meet the customer interruption standard. The Commission said while it acknowledges the reasons provided by GPL for the failures, it strongly recommended that the company re-examines its planning and forecasting methods. The Commission also said it was also concerned about the company's constant excuses regarding its failure to achieve maximum demand meter reading targets due to handheld devices failure, despite increasing installation of advanced meter reading technologies. The Public Utilities Commission noted that after careful deliberations and notwithstanding GPL's failure to achieve standards set for consumer interruptions, meter reading, accounts payable, system losses, and average availability, the Commission will at this time refrain from imposing any penalties on the company. The PUC has, however, directed the company to submit quarterly reports to the Commission on its pilot project as it relates to the voltage regulation standards and the rollout of its advancing metering infrastructure. Essequibo businessman Tariq Dionarine was on Monday charged by the Special Organized Crime Unit (SERCU) for allegedly purchasing gold from a person other than the Guyana Gold Board or an authorized person. It is alleged that the businessman purchased the gold from someone in the Port Kaituma community in Region 1. In a statement, SERCU said after it received information that Dionarine had developed a habit of purchasing raw gold from persons involved in mining in the community, a search was conducted at his business place as part of a sting operation. SERCU said its agents found 20.8 pennyweights of gold, 2 smelting molds, 1 smelting pot, and 897,000 Guyana dollars. In court, the businessman pleaded not guilty to the charge, and he was granted bail in the sum of $60,000. Under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the Special Organized Crime Unit is the authority for investigating and prosecuting gold smuggling. Kanu said several other gold smuggling and the money laundering cases are currently under investigation.
Purple Arts Productions presents A Treat for My Mother's 7 on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12. Sean Bullock, Bernie House, Charmaine Blackman, Ronald Green, and others. Golden jewelry for the best dressed mother in purple. 8 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Tickets $3,000 and $2,500. Compliments of Survival Shopping Complex. The Simcoe Trading, Secure Innovations and Concept Inc. A Purple Arts Theatre production, directed by Simone Dowding.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. Brazil's government will soon create an interministerial commission chaired by the Planning Ministry to unlock projects for integration in South America, a top official told Reuters on Monday. According to Renata Amaral, Secretary of the International Affairs and Development, a decree signed by President Luiz Lula da Silva will establish the commission, which will organize internal activity in the federal government to effectively kickstart the projects. At the end of last year, the government announced that $10 billion would be made available by multilateral and development banks to finance infrastructure projects aimed at advancing South American integration, seeking enhanced trade and reduced transportation time to Asia. As part of the plans, the development bank, BNDES, would allocate $3 billion to projects solely in Brazil. Despite expected polarization in the U.S. presidential election and potential spillover effects into countries in the region, Brazil continues to see strong collaboration from neighbors in discussions about integration projects, including Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay, which have right-wing governments. Argentina grain exports were being impacted by strike action against government reforms for a second day on Tuesday, industry officials told Reuters, hitting shipments of soy, corn, and wheat from one of the world's top grains exporting countries. Argentina's oilseed and maritime worker unions kicked off a strike on Monday to protest a labor reform bill backed by radical libertarian President Javier Milei, which lower house lawmakers approved on Tuesday. Argentina is one of the world's main exporters of processed soybeans, and revenue from grains exports are a major source of foreign currency needed to pay down debt and finance imports for the cash-strapped government amid a prolonged economic slide. The SOEA Oilseed Union, which operates in the key farming and export hub, said it would evaluate the outcome of the Congress vote on the reform bill ongoing in the lower house, with individual articles being voted on. Milei took power in December, pledging to slash public spending and stave off hyperinflation, but his reform push has faced stiff resistance from center-left opponents. And finally tonight, international news. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel will launch an invasion of the southern Gaza city of Rafah, regardless of truce talks with Hamas. It comes amid ongoing attempts to try to reach an agreement for a ceasefire and hostage releases. But at a meeting of hostages' relatives, Mr. Netanyahu said he would invade with or without a deal. His comments follow renewed warnings by U.S. against a Rafah invasion unless civilians were properly protected. In a phone call with Mr. Netanyahu on Sunday, U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated his clear position on Rafah. A White House statement said Mr. Biden has previously described an invasion of Rafah as a red line. More than half of Gaza's 2.5 million population is in Rafah, having fled there to escape fighting in other parts of the territory. Conditions in the overcrowded city are dire, and displaced people there have spoken of lack of food, water, and medication. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.